What's going on, YouTube family? What's happening? Yusef Gilkey here with one of many vlogs here. I woke up with a thought this morning that I wanted to share with you guys. And the thought is that many of us are out trying to succeed at SEO or CPA marketing, which is cost per acquisition, or affiliate marketing, if you will, to sell someone else's product and get an affiliate commission, or even e-commerce. So I just wanted to say this one thing and drive a point home. It is my opinion at this particular point, but I think this will resonate with many of you. The reason that many are not succeeding at e-commerce or CPA marketing or t-shirt sales, if you will, which is still e-commerce, may not be something that you're doing or lack thereof. And I want you to marinate on that for a second. Many times I hear the gurus or the teachers or those that have been successful, or they have these big screenshots put up of their earnings, say that just keep going, keep implementing, you'll get there, or you're not working hard enough, or you're not focused. And to be quite honest with you, I've been around long enough to see some pretty smart guys and women in all types of forms who more or less are, I consider to be intelligent people, following things to the letter. And I know there's no guarantees in anything, but which is going to drive home one of my points. Your success, or lack thereof, may not be, well, let me back up. The reason you're not succeeding may not entirely be your fault. To marinate on that for a second. And this is not to put the blame on anyone. This is just my own personal thinking, something that I want you to give some consideration and thought to the next time you go to buy a course, or the next time you enroll into a forum. I want you to just take a step back and think about this. This morning I stopped everything. I cut off all my Facebook ads. I was about to buy a course last night, put together by someone I think that is a pretty successful e-commerce guy, and a pretty stable platform, pretty admirable sales, pretty solid person. But I decided I'm going to take a different approach. And this may be a 2 or 3 part series because I don't want this to be too long, but I want you to think about something. First and foremost, I only buy programs that are proven, or courses that are proven, or follow those that have proven success and proven students that have taken those courses. Now, the reason being is that I try to stay away from, just kind of do as I say, not as I do, programs, because come on, I can throw shit up against the wall all day and wait for something to stick. I don't have to buy a course to do that. I know how to target on Facebook. I know how to go in and get the insights. I know how to get out and use the Google AdWords Planner to find audience sizes and markets. I can do those things on my own, but it is the guidance and the little intricacies that I look for, kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. That's the value for me. Now, with that being said, here's something else to consider. Even if you have a teacher or mentor, a guru that has had success for themselves, that does not necessarily mean they're going to be a good teacher. does not mean that they're going to be capable of teaching you what they know. Case in point, I paid about $3,000 to get into this mentoring coaching program, and the guy, to his credit, he was very thorough, but he's a very what I call a very what is the word that I'm looking for? He's a process-oriented person, if you will, very analytical person. So his style of teaching mimicked that. You know, he was a very technical person, and that was good if you wanted to get into all the nuances of setting up tracking and understanding kind of HTML and how it works. All of that stuff is well and good, and it's important to know. But at the end of the day, at the end of the course, it was a 6-week course. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, but I won't say it here because we did get value out of it. But at the end of the day, I came away with more technical knowledge than I feel that was what I would consider to be practical knowledge, where I could get in and say, okay, I have a clear path. I know what to do now. This is what I need to do until I start seeing success. My own experience, I can't speak for anyone else. That's just how I felt. Technically, I was a stronger marketer, but again, I was not there to be a technical whiz. I can hire someone for that. I feel I understood it better, yes, but I was not there to be an HTML wizard or CSS or a tracking wizard or learn volume. I understood it already to some degree. Anyway, I digress. But let me get back on track. So what I'm saying is that we go out and we buy these courses, and many times what we really are looking for is to look over someone's shoulder, the OTO or OTSs. I'm sorry, and we want to know kind of like, okay, how do I connect A with B and B to C, and how do I get from this point to that point? How do I set up these ads? What should my ads look like? How much do I need to spend? We're looking for these intricacies, and a lot of times these courses, I'm not going to say that they fall short. I'm just going to say that their way of explaining it a lot of times may not be conducive to how we're understanding or our perception of what they're understanding. Is it their fault? No, I don't think it's their fault at all. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. And what kind of brought me to this realization is I was in a forum yesterday. A lot of smart and intelligent guys there who have had proven success. It's not an internet marketing forum. It's a forum where a lot of business owners kind of come together, and a lot of them are e-commerce guys and brick and mortar guys, but they share a lot of their success stories. So one of the guys had a mentoring program, and I said, well, you know what? Wow, one of his students actually had a follow along. So I just kind of went through the thread and just kind of followed the updates up until he finished the 90-day course with him, just to see, okay, what type of outcome did this guy get? Because he obviously already understood Amazon, he understood FBA, he had some general knowledge of understanding, so I guess he just needed the mentoring or the coaching to help him enhance the knowledge that he already had. Well, long story short, he took massive action. He was in it 110%. And I know many of you guys are going to say, well, no success is guaranteed. True. It's not. And we don't really know kind of the parts that he implemented wholeheartedly or not. But I'm just going to assume that he did everything. He did everything that was taught. It was a very intensive one-on-one type of relationship he had with the mentor, and at the end of the day he walked away doing something totally different. Now, is that the coach or the coaches or the mentor's fault? Of course not. But what I'm saying to you is, just because you have a coach or a mentor that has had some success does not mean necessarily that they're going to be able to teach you how to be successful. So when you go out, and this is my thing, when you go out, or when I go out, and think about buying a course or think about getting coached, because some of these things can be thousands of dollars. And the higher ticket items are so because they're high ticketed because you're getting one-on-one interaction with that individual who has proven success. That's what you're paying for. All I'm saying is make sure that that person is able to teach you in a style that you're able to learn from. Okay? You know, if you can't learn from that person because that person maybe speaks in a way that you don't really comprehend, or, you know, they're talking over your head, or perhaps, you know, they're running through the course material super fast at a pace that you can't learn, or the interaction is not one-on-one, those things could affect the outcome. Now, to be fair, you have to go into it with any course with the mindset that you're going to put 110% into it. You're going to be engaged with the content. You're going to, you know, you're not going to try to do 100 different things at one time. I'm guilty. I do it all the time. That's just my personality. If something else grabs my attention, I'm subject to just say, okay, well, shit, I've been doing this right now for 90 days, 120 days. I feel like I'm stuck at a particular point. I need something else to help me get to that point. I will jump. I will do it. That's me. And I think it's a lot of people, whether they admit it or not. They call this the shiny object syndrome. Perhaps. Now, I see that being an issue in this industry. It can be an issue. But here's my thing. How do you know when it's time to move on? How do you know when it's time to cut your losses? How do you know when what you're learning can only get you so far? You know, how do you, what type of a litmus test do you have set up to say, okay, you know what? I've been doing this for X amount of time. I feel like I've put 100% of my energy into it, and my results are, I maybe have made a little money or not, and I'm really not getting everything out of this that I think. Well, a lot of the traditional way of thinking would have you really look in the mirror and say, well, it's you. You're not really engaged, you know, you're not focused, or you need to keep going because, you know, if you keep going down this path, you're going to get success. Are you? How many people have been doing the same thing weeks upon weeks, months upon months, years upon years, and have not seen success? What's the problem? I mean, what is the real problem? Is it the fact that you're lazy? Is it the fact that you're not engaged, you're not focused? Some perhaps. But I do know of many that have been engaged, and many that have followed things to the letter and still have not reached the level of success of those, or a fraction of the level of success of those that are teaching it. What is the issue? What do you think the issue is? Is it laziness? Is it lack of focus? Maybe, maybe not. Is it the style that the teacher is teaching you? And if it is, when do you recognize and accept that and move on and cut your losses, as they say? Because in business, you have to know when something's not working. If you've got money on a Facebook ad, if you've got money on a Google ad, you're doing some display advertisement, if you're doing some direct buys, and something's not working, what do? You cut your losses. Money or not. No, doesn't matter what you've spent on it. If it's not working, it's just not working. So why does that same principle not apply when you're learning a new concept, or learning a new, some type of new tactic or strategy to help you get your business to the next level? I don't know. Maybe it's not you. But if it's not you, be honest with yourself. Move on. Find something better. And as far as shiny object syndrome goes, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with searching and finding what works, because there's a lot of bullshit out here, to be honest with you. There's some good shit and there's some bullshit out here. And sometimes the noise can get so great that you get confused, you get blinded, you get disillusioned. You don't know who is who. This person is endorsing that person, and that person sending you an email saying, hey, this is a great product, try it out. And it may be someone that you trust. It may be someone's email list that you've been on, or someone's community that you're in. But a lot of these coaches or gurus or whatever you like to label them as, you know, they're affiliates too. They promote other people's product as well. And what I've seen, and what I don't like, I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to say it, I don't like it, is that a lot of these guys, one in particular, I wish I could say his name, but I won't do it, signed up for his course, and I was a little taken aback at how much, well, let me just say this. He had two pieces of software in there. One helped you build landers and banners. Great, automated. You just kind of plug everything in, kind of host it on his own server and domain. It was great. You know, if you didn't really know how to make banners and landers, then that was a great time saver. I never really wound up using it because I like my banners and my landers to be a little bit more, I guess, professional looking, if you will. But hey, it's something that helps get you started. But long story short, I just noticed that my email box just started getting flooded with all these, oh, you need to try this out, and this is a great thing, and this person's coming on for a webinar, he's going to give a lot of value, and you need to be on this for that. And it just kind of, number one, made me lose trust in this person, because I felt like you've got a lot of people in your community that need to be focused. They need to be focused on the material that you're teaching them until they get a grasp and understanding on how to do CPA marketing correctly before you go stuffing their inbox with stuff like, oh, you need to get this and you need to get that. You know, 30 days down the line, you're feeding them all of this, that they need to get this, and many of them weren't buying it based on the trust that they have for this person, and it continues to this day. And that was months, maybe a year or so ago that I signed up, and I had to step back and come to the realization that this is not the first time. A, this is not the first time that happens, and B, you know, a lot of these guys, this is what they do. This is how they make and supplement their incomes, which makes me wonder, how good of a affiliate marketer are you really? How do you really make your income? Do you make your income by being an affiliate to your mailing list? Or do you make your money doing what you're teaching us, which is getting out, becoming an affiliate, setting up ads, buying traffic, and running traffic to your ads and getting a commission from them? This is what this guy was teaching. So I'm going to cut this short here. This video's been long enough. Comment below. Like I said, this is the first of many, but I had to get that off my chest, that don't always think it's you. Don't always think it's you. Don't buy into the fact that if it's not working, it's something that you're doing or that you're not doing. This is Yusef Gilkey. I'm out.